Hello and welcome back to the Functional Spirituality Podcast. Today I'm here with my beautiful partner Jared and Jasmine. Jasmine is eyes opening. Jasmine is on Jared's chest. And I don't think we've made a podcast this year or since the birth. We wanted to many times, but for various reasons haven't gotten around to it. For obvious reasons. And now we're going to give it a crack, even though Jasmine's eyes are opening up on Jared's chest. We're going to try anyways. So we want to answer a couple of the questions that have been coming through. I think the thing that people want to know the most is about Jared's experience of our birth, because I shared a lot. I shared about an hour of this wild labor journey that we went on. And none of that was from Jared's side. So we have an awake bear who's going to be making sounds. Hello. But yeah, let's start with that. Let's start with answering that. Jared, I know this is a big question, but what was your experience of the labor? What do you want to share about it?
I don't think you actually have a long enough podcast format for me to be able to go through everything. But yeah, I suppose it was being a 5-day labor, I think, was pretty unique in the way that I was able to experience many different things. You know, you get the people that have labors that last 2 hours and there's not really a lot there for them. You know, it happens very quickly. And I was on the very opposite end of the spectrum where it was, you know, the whole spectrum of emotions I think it could be felt in a birth were there. It was beauty and pain and frustration and sadness and fear and anxiety and joy and so much stuff at all different times, you know, as we traverse the peaks and the troughs through the experience. Yeah, I suppose starting at the start, like I should have refreshed my memory on what you shared with the audience, but I suppose I was a bit taken by surprise because I had this plan that I had a few more days. You know, I was furiously trying to get a project finished at work that would allow me to fully step back. And I had 2 more days to go. And then on the Wednesday, I had probably one of the worst days at work. So much so that actually, before I got home, I took myself to the beach for a walk just to recalibrate and adjust because I was quite upset at the day. And then coming home, I wasn't home long. And then I got the call from your massage saying, come pick me up, and I was sure that it could only mean one thing, and although there was nothing confirmed, I went there to pick you up with the intention that I'd be picking up a labouring mother, and that was it. And I suppose I was really thrown into something that I had prepared for in a far different way in my mind, and coming off the back end, I think I only slept 3 or 4 hours that previous night as well, just because of work stuff. So I was really underslept and started off quite frustrated, underslept, and really kind of at my capacity, I suppose. And then it was just like, oh, okay, we're doing this now. And it was probably not the kind of start that I would have written for myself. You know, there was no space between me finishing work and us going into our labor. And I think that kind of gave me a little bit of a jolty, rocky start, which was not ideal. And the first 24 hours of our labor was, if I could do any part of it again, it would probably just be the start, which I was not so proud of the way that I handled it. But I think it changed as the labor went on and we got more clear on how we were going to move together through it. But yeah, I mean, where to even begin with the labor? It was, I think a lot of fear was there because, I don't know, it's just, I think people underestimate the severity of a woman giving birth. You know, it's not always perfect, like ideal births, and we also have the added pressure of needing to or wanting to have a home birth and having everything go nicely for all people involved, and then just trying to control the variables as much as we could. And obviously in our case, that was just like your pain threshold and sleep and food and all that sort of stuff, of which I don't think really we didn't do really very much of that at all, sleeping or food. I think I got about 12 hours of sleep in the 5 days, and I think you got about 15 minutes at best.
Yeah, a couple of 15-minute breaks for sure.
But yeah, so it was a very arduous birth, and I don't think I could have another birth be difficult now if we were to have more children, because that one, I think, we experienced the full spectrum of, what would you say, challenges, I suppose. I mean, we didn't, we weren't breech or we weren't anything in the more dangerous side, like Jasmine's health and was monitored very precariously through the whole thing, and there was definitely no fear based on the safety of Jasmine or you. I think the fear was more based in...
Yeah, what were you scared of?
Yeah, I mean, during the birth, the fear was mainly just that things would go nicely and everybody would have a positive experience. So it was something I think we were very attached